What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Lux, and in today's video, girl, you won't believe the drama. Alright, so let's catch up for those of you who are not caught up on the drama. Part 1, this is part 2, and this video is now part 3. So if you're not caught up, I recommend watching those videos on the information before forming your own opinion. I just want to say that I just don't think that this is drama for YouTube. I do feel like this needs to be handled off YouTube. And with that being said, I do believe that James Charles has his lawyers involved. James Charles doesn't wish to comment on the situation. And again, I'm not defending James Charles. James Charles can defend himself. But the 14-year-old TikToker is continuing to make videos and talking and saying that he wants to bring light to the situation. I haven't really formed an opinion up until this point, and I think in this video I'm finally going to make my opinion. I do feel like James Charles in some way was set up, and I'm going to say that because YouTuber Dustin Daly, who had receipts in communication with James Charles, that James Charles sent him screenshots of the conversation with the 14-year-old, and Dustin Daly had said this.
But James sent me some DMs, and it was a picture of this kid in the mirror, and then it was James saying the eye roll emoji, and he said LOL back again, and this guy said, nah, I just got something to say. James said, question mark, someone sent me that podcast of you and Logan. Kind of felt like shade was thrown. And James replied to him and said, at you? And this guy replies and says, yeah. James replied to him and said, I promise that I haven't thought about you since you blocked me on Snapchat for the 3rd time, LOL. This guy says, just kind of strange how everything you said on that podcast was kind of everything I told you. Family problems, etc. James replied and said, no, it was actually about a Romanian boy that I was talking to from LA for a few weeks. As I said, I haven't thought about you. The kid sends another picture and it's just him like... And James went on to say, you can believe what you want. It wasn't about you, but clearly the shoe fits. Enjoy your night then. This guy then replies to James and says, stop lying. We was friends. James said, dad emoji, how are you going to come into my DMs accusing me of speaking about you on a podcast where I talked about a guy I was talking to that didn't work out, and then 5 minutes later say we didn't talk? This guy says, we didn't talk. You exaggerated. Hella. James replied and said, you said you were bisexual and were into me and that I was beautiful, LMAO. I'm sorry that you're insecure and embarrassed about your sexuality. This guy replies and says, hell nah. And James says, have a nice night. And this kid then says something that really sent up a red flag for me. He said, scandal time, question mark. I was like, really? Who says that? So we already know the precedent that has been set with James Charles and how people like to use him for clout and use his name.
So what that lets me know, it's like, oh, okay, it's not looking too good for the 14-year-old TikToker, because in this situation, it seems like you wanted to be friends with James Charles. And when you had a little bit of fallout, it was like, oh, scandal time, that you were going to come take to make a video. And I do think that this guy knew that if he makes a video talking about James Charles, especially with the rumors that were circulating already in the past, that more people will be prone to believe it. In essence, he hasn't shown any real receipts or anything like that, other than his word of mouth or what he's saying is his truth and wants to spread awareness. But I do think this is going to happen. I don't think that James Charles is going to make any type of statement. I don't think James Charles is going to make a video response. I don't think he's going to put out a tweet message or any type of statement to anyone. I think James Charles is going to let go and keep going on with his business and keep uploading videos and building the James Charles brand, and let his lawyers handle it behind the scenes. Which I'm just kind of like, oh my God, can you imagine interacting with someone online, thinking that y'all are cool, and the minute they get upset or feel some type of way, they're gonna make a video to expose, to gain clout. And this is what it's really looking like on the 14-year-old TikToker side. So I feel for James Charles. That absolutely does suck, especially with saying scandal time or drama time. It's like, really? That really set me off, because I was thinking like, wow, okay, this shows right here that you maliciously, with intent, was gonna make a video about James Charles. I don't think that James Charles was talking about him and in the Jake Paul podcast. I think that he was maybe talking about somebody else. I have no proof, just my opinion. I don't think that James Charles was antagonizing or talking to him or talking about him in the podcast. I do believe James Charles was maybe flirting with the guy back and forth, but I don't think it would have gone any further. But again, I don't know. And don't hold me to the fire, and nor I'm not defending either side at this point, giving my opinion that I kind of feel like James Charles was set up in a way. But then I don't know either. I'm just forming my opinion. The 14-year-old TikToker has stated that more stuff is going to come out in the comment section of this video, that he said he's going to post more videos or more receipts or something like that. Which if that's the case, then definitely tread lightly and make sure you know what you're doing. But at the same time, everyone keeps asking, are the parents involved? Where's the parents? I think to execute a video like that, you would really need the 14-year-old kid and maybe the parent next to him and going to the police station. And like I said, all that should be handled by off the scenes. But this is something that keeps coming up time and time again with James Charles. And the fact that he is hanging out with younger TikTokers. So it does look bad for James Charles. It's one of those situations that whether it's true or not, that even if it's not true, it just looks bad for James Charles given the situation that it's in. I'm gonna pass on the question to you guys. Do you think that James Charles was tricked? Do you think that he was fooled into this? Do you think that this is drama? In my opinion, I don't think this is drama. It shouldn't be on YouTube. And I think that is great that James Charles is not making a video given the scope of the situation. I think this will go away on James Charles' part, but I think that Ethan will continue to make videos and speaking out, especially because he feels like his life has been ruined now because of the whole situation. But I felt like it is a situation that you brought upon yourself because you, in essence, made the video before handling with the proper authorities. I think people who are reaching out to Ethan for a comment really should be reaching out to maybe the parents of Ethan for a comment because he is underage. So as always, I'm gonna pass the question on to you guys. What do you guys think about the situation, and do you even care? I think a lot of people in the comments are saying, where are the receipts? Where are the receipts? Because you really can't point blame at somebody if there's no receipts. And I said in my previous video, in last year's drama, people were quick to jump on a bandwagon against James Charles. And in this situation, I don't think a lot of people are going to jump on that same bandwagon. But at the same time, if there's no receipts, I think it would be great to debunk the situation. But I don't feel like it's worth any more energy putting into the drama because there just aren't any receipts that have come forward at all. And I don't really think they are going to go forward. What I am scared about James Charles is that there will be receipts that have been doctored or that could be faked to make James Charles look bad moving forward, because anyone can fake receipts and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. In essence, I think this whole entire situation is best handled in the courts. And I think that this is going to be that situation. Just like Tati is suing everybody, Shane Dawson is suing everybody, Jeffree Star suing everybody, now James Charles is suing everybody. So everybody's suing everybody at this point because nobody has the receipts. People are talking with no receipts. And honestly, if the receipts were posted, I think people would still sue and get legal involved. And I think at that situation, it's great. Instead of continuing on YouTube back and forth with videos being made, just have legal involved and handle it behind the background. But there's plenty of people in the comments who are going to want to know. They're going to want to know what exact happened, why, what, when, where, and all that. And for those people, you have to understand that some things in some situations is best left up to the court. Now, once that does go to court, it's up to James Charles if he's going to seal the case so that no one would ever see it. Just like in the same case with Tati Westbrook, if she was to seek legal against Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, she could also seal the case so that no one else can see if it gets leaked out, the text messages or anything like that. Again, you're talking about multi-millionaires here who have the money to do things like that. My advice to James Charles is, in the words of Nick Snyder, get you a man. Get you a man.
James, please stop messing around with all these boys. You are I've said this in a video before. You are James Charles. Millions of dollars, successful career, amazing house out there in California, wherever the hell you live. Why are you messing around with all these young people? Is it because you can give them something and you want to be the powerful one in the relationship? I'm not exactly sure. Get yourself a man, girl. A man. Fuck a man. Get yourself a doctor. Get yourself a lawyer. Hell, get yourself a CEO of some company. Stop messing around with all these boys that at the end of the day, they're just going to break your heart. You know that there's going to be a video from you in a few years, probably, after you date one of them, that's going to be, they used me for clout, or they did this, they did that. Girl, save yourself the struggle, get yourself a successful man, your life will be amazing.
I had a speeding ticket one time because I left school early to go pick up a straight guy that went to another school that I knew was on the DL to hook up with him.
You have an issue with straight boys.
I do.
You need
It's
to
really
work it
bad.
out.
I'm working on it, girl.
You have to be able to find a masculine gay guy.
I mean, there are a million of them, but there's no challenge in that.
That's never going to end in a relationship.
Well, not with that attitude, it won't. If you could give me one piece of advice you think that would help to find me a man, what would it be?
I don't think you should have a problem. I think you're confident. I think you're talented. I think
You're successful, you're young.
Yeah, you're attractive. You know how to dress yourself. If anything, you're just looking in the wrong places. Like maybe stop looking at the straight guy.
And I really don't think that James Charles is interested in getting a man. I think that he likes a certain type of guy and he likes a challenge. I think if a cute, hot guy was to walk up to James Charles and be like, hey, what's up? I want to date you. James would kind of be like, oh, I'm so bored. There's no challenge. Like, I think that James Charles likes the chase. He likes to chase guys. You know, some people like to be chased. Some people like to chase. And I think that James Charles knows that he can probably get whatever guy he wants because he's attractive and because he has a lot of money and rich and successful and a multi-millionaire at that. I think that he likes to have a little bit of a challenge. But anyways, I'll let you go. Let me know what you think about all that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And please don't forget to smash that like button because it helps out the video so much. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. I love you so much.